Right, we are here on the North Island, and I am catching up with Steve Telfer. It's from Stonewall. Hi, Steve.
Good to see you again, mate.
We'll get the audio working this time. Everyone knows I do mistakes. It is all good. We just was talking then. Always Be Missy last night, and the win by Katrina. Who am I going? Christina. I'm not even going on the last name. What a great story! Congratulations to you guys here at Stonewall, but also and the harness racing community as well. It's just a great story, and it promotes the industry in a great light.
Yeah, look, it does. She's credit to herself the way she does things, and it's not hard to like her attitude and her real passion and love for the horses.
Yeah, and it's shone through last night. She's a very authentic person. I don't edit the interview. She asked me afterwards to cut out a couple of times where she was stuttering, and that I just think she was just trying so hard. She was just she was trying so hard to make sure she said everything right. She's infectious. Yeah,
she's a harshest critic.
Yeah.
But she worries about her English, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good, really. You have no troubles. The only trouble she has is a little bit if we start using a bit of Aussie or Kiwi slang, and she know the meaning of those ones. But very, very good girl, really.
We're going to touch on the announcements, but just for a start, the 2-year-olds last night, you must have been wrapped with that. And how are your 2-year-olds progressing this year? I know you've got quite a few to come through, so are you happy with where they're at the minute?
Yeah, look, we have. Probably a few of them were... a few got up and went early, but they probably weren't quite up to the level. Especially Barry's one and Tate's one went very good early. So, they'll put aside again and all ready to go for this back end of the year, which is probably the main section for us in the north. Yep. They're not far away. Those 3 last night were having their first and second races. I think in about 3 weeks' time we've got another 12 going off to the workouts, so there'll be big numbers in 2-year-olds, 12 to 15 in another 3 to 4 weeks' time. So we'll have plenty of 2-year-olds for the back end of the year.
Any standouts? You don't have to, but
no. Look, I haven't got any real standouts. There's ones we like. We had one earlier on the year called Bar Louis, who had 2 starts for 2 wins, and he's back in. He only had a couple of weeks off, so he can be back for the back end of the year. He's back, and he'll be trialling in about 3 weeks' time. And there was there's a colt out of Sweet on Me of Paul and Mary's Kenny's. So he had 1 start earlier in the year and just needed a bit more time. So he's about 3 weeks away. He's a nice colt as well. And there's a filly out of 2 fillies actually. There's a Captain Crunch filly out of Princess Arts. She's had a couple of trials. I think Greg drove her at one of the trials when he was over and liked her. So good judge, that boy, isn't he?
Goes okay.
So she was put aside and she's nearly ready to go. And there's also an Always Be Mickey filly out of Pure Magic that's shown quite a bit of its trials. Yep.
So there's a little bit to work with, which would give you a bit of spring in your step. You're just saying there, BD Joe and Ohaka Connor. Well, Connor's a week behind, but they're not far off getting back to the races. So things are going to hot up pretty quickly, albeit that we are in the middle of winter. Not that anyone would think so. I'm squinting because it's shining my eyes. I mean, but it is still middle of winter. We've still got a little way to go, although it will get around really quick, won't it?
Yeah, it's starting to come around. If you have a look at the programs, the early 3-year-old fillies races start in sort of mid to late August. The open class races down south start with the Morris Vase home, but maybe the National the week before that, but they start in late August. So those two will be close, if not ready for those first ones. And I'm a bit of a traditionalist in the lead up to the Cups. I like them to have a good build up for the 2 miles. A lot of mine have probably gone out early, it's all starting to shape up in the back end of the year, and that's when a lot of the finals and series are. That's where they all meet.
Announcements the other day. I'm actually going to ask you about another horse, which we'll get to in a backward way in a sec. But the announcements the other day, you're talking about these. You get out of bed in the morning and you see we're now back to $1 million New Zealand Trotting Cup, $400,000 Dominion Handicap, but so many other increases across it. Put a bit of spring in your step.
Well, it does. It's very positive. Entane and Harness Racing New Zealand and the new people in charge they're making a real effort to. There's a lot of changes. They've taken the picket fences down and spread it out. They've gone in quite big and it gives the trainer a lot of all the feature races, a lot to aim for. As well as the grassroots, especially in the north here for us, based in the north, this half of the operation, the heats and finals and the money they're trying to pick the north back up to where it was.
It's so important to pick the north up. The population of New Zealand is up here, or vast. I shouldn't say that because I get into trouble, but a vast majority of it is up here, and we need. We've got a track smack bang in the middle of the biggest city on the two islands, and we need to encourage it to go. Do you think this will help?
Yeah, look, it'll definitely help. It's as a trainer and probably even an owner, you've got no excuses now. With all the changes that are being made. I think they've still got a few little issues to iron out. I really, personally, it's only just my opinion, but personally, I do think they need a good training centre. To accommodate the young trainers and any visiting South Island ones, or to try and boost the numbers up. But with Franklin being sold and moving on, I do think they need to really get that ironed out, and that'll make things more inviting because it's not cheap living up here in the north.
Well, no, and I mean you've seen it. You guys travel. You've been to New South Wales, Menangle, and I think anyone would say there was question marks over where Menangle was worth it. Now everyone wants to be there. They do work. They can be a slow burn. They definitely have teething issues. But what then when you look at the strongest state in Australia, New South Wales by far, and they've got training centres going up everywhere.
Yeah, look, I just think it's the way forward for the especially the younger people to get going. There's a lot of capital needed to set up
which you guys would know.
Yeah, look, I've been very lucky. Not everyone's in that vote, but there's a lot of capital setting up a training place that can do the job for you. Expenses and just setting it up is huge. So for the young people, I think it gives them a good place to train from and a step in the right direction and helping them to achieve their own goals. Yeah.
You've got big numbers here. Cambridge racing on a Tuesday night, and then you've got Auckland on the Friday nights under the lights. Makes it a bit easier than going Thursday, Friday.
Oh, it definitely does. Back-to-backs. You throw the trials in there. We normally have 3 in a row up here in the north. So, it does give you a few days rest when you get older like me, mate. You appreciate the rest after it. Probably the Tuesday, Wednesday works out good. Anyone that's seen it, in Australia, some of the country races, some of the horses will line up twice, the shorter Jersey. So, it gives those trainers and those people a chance to do that if they want to. A bit like the circuits when you go down the line, you go to Marlborough or Manawatu or whatever, a lot of them will race, Thursday, Sunday, Friday, Sunday, not all the time, but it gives people the choice to do that if they want to.
Does it give you guys options then as well? You've got the South Island, so you might have horses that maybe not going to measure up to, to the Auckland. The fact that they'll be racing for, so there is the option. They're wanting horses to stay up north by putting on these other sorts of races. Obviously, you guys won't shy away from taking horses to those sorts of meetings.
No, we're pretty much a national stable, so there's probably no program we don't look at. If you've got the right horse, we'll just travel to them. That's pretty much the way we're set up, so we can accommodate all varieties of horses, really. So here in the north, wherever the programs are, we'll look at them, and if we've got horses suitable, then they'll go to them. And consequently, in the south, down south, they have carnivals all over the place, all over the west, up north during the summer, and they've got the choice to go south as well. And I know the team down south, I've been down there a little bit, the team down south, Jason Borden, that they do a great job down there with their programs and everything. So if wherever their horse fits, that's when they'll go.
We need the population. We need horses. Need horses here for people to bet on, but we also need, as you said, young people coming through the game. We need more owners coming through the game as well to go through.
That's the big thing with the. That's the big thing with what's it. The owners at the back of everything.
Yeah.
You know, he pays for the horses at the sales and pays for the training, and then it comes through, and then the trainers, the farriers, and everyone off that get their cut sort of thing. But without the owners, the owners need incentive to invest into the big money that's paid at the sales and the cost of running horses. So I think the new incentives give that to them.
Carter Delgetti, I know, being down south, if you see a bloke with a weird haircut or dressed a little bit funky, it's generally a mate of Carter's. I mean, we can bring them if we can get more people like Carter. They can bring their mates, the university mates, and that. And look, they may not buy much of a horse, but you never know. 10 years down the track, exactly. They could be the leading owner in the industry. You wouldn't know if they become a rocket scientist or what they become.
It's an introduction, isn't it? You know, and some, whether that's coming through their mates or like Carter, and he's a pretty likeable sort of fella, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just the young ones, we've got to entice all aspects, but especially the young ones coming through.
Gave you a hard time last night, and I will ask about this horse in a sec, but with the trotters, the injection of money into the trotters, though, it's exciting as well. I was just across the road at Tony Healy, he's got Bowl for Brilliance, and then in a single moment I was explaining to him the money that's on offer for young trotters. It is exciting, and it probably brings another demographic, if you like, or change, if you like, of trainers and what they do look for, with so much money being injected into the gate.
Well, absolutely correct. Did you see the dollar signs in his eyes?
Yeah.
No.
I think he was counting his fingers for a while, but it's all good.
No, absolutely. But especially here, anywhere really, the trotters become a big part of New Zealand racing. The trotter in New Zealand, although the Aussies had the wood over us the last 12 to 24 months, but the trotter's been a big part of New Zealand, and its history. In the north, during the winter, I don't know, I can't remember last night, but sometimes half the card will be trotted.
Well, races. I said that last night as well. I'm not sure, but I think it was close to it. Yeah,
and up until last year, we really stayed out of that sort of thing, and we had a pacing broodmare sire, but we've started to get into the trotters. But they're there, and the money's there, and the breed's got so much better. Like, we bought a couple of yearlings this year. We paid a bit for them. A Bold Eagle colt and a tactical Landon filly, and with Josh here, he's got a bit of trotting blood in him. He wouldn't let Stocky not put his hand up. So but they've broken well, and they're very, very natural, and they seem lovely athletes. So looking forward to them.
Will they make the races this year, or are they yearlings this year?
Look, we just bought them as yearlings, but they've been broken in, and they've had 2 preparations already, and the trotting maestro Josh tells me that they're 2-year-olds. So we'll see in time. But no, they do everything right. They've got great manners, and especially the tactical landing filly. She's she stretches out of ground, big strong filly, and the colt's got that real fluent style, European stretched right out, and lovely. Two lovely horses, so really looking forward to seeing what they can do in sort of probably 6 to 12 months, isn't it?
Josh, you better be careful. There was a wee girl last night. It's got a fond spot for the trotters too. She keeps going. She might put.
Funny story, the old colt there, the Bold Eagle colt. Josh went to the trials and he said, "I'll give you a drive on the Bold Eagle colt," and she come off the track and she said, "I'm in love." Josh said, "Well, that's the last time you drive him."
He claimed it back. He said, "No, not happening."
Yeah, no, not happening. He said, "No, she loves the trotter, and we've got a few here, and she's got good hands." So yeah.
Jocker Hill, where's he at? Because he is an exciting horse, with a few issues, but he's an exciting horse.
Yeah, look, he's got a lot of ability, Joker. He just galloped his last couple. He's probably still not had 10 starts yet, but he's got real speed and a lot of ability. But he's back in work. He's done a month's jogging, and he'll start hobble work this week. So probably 6 weeks away from having a trial. But look, he's strengthened right up, and he started to fill into his frame. But he's got the necessary speed to probably to even go all the way, really. Yeah. But he's just he's got a few a few little issues with his body, and hopefully he's just a bit stronger this time.
And his gait, like Josh has got a beautiful set of hands and a beautiful seat on him, and you can tell when Josh don't move on a horse, he's just making sure the horse gets around, and you can see that a couple of times when he won, and even when he didn't win, Josh is just educating him, isn't he?
Yeah, well he is. Josh, he looks a bit. He's one of the drivers. He looks a bit like a trainer, when he's driving them. So, but he's got a very good gait. He's got a very good gait. It's probably more the space between his ears that we look after.
He's not on his own.
No. It's got a few friends, hasn't he? But that's very good gait, and he shows it at home when he's relaxed, and that he never makes a mistake. It'll come to him, but he's just it's just probably more the space between the ears than his actual trotting gait. Yeah.
No, he's an exciting horse. Fillies, 150 races for the mares and fillies for you guys with. Looking, to breed, setting up, that must have been music to your ears. You were sort of saying,
yeah. Look, it's great for us. We have just as many fillies as colts. We breed our own. Like I think this next year we're putting like 30 broodmares ourselves into, to be served and foaled for next year, and so our broodmare station's getting bigger and bigger as well. So it gives you. It's probably been missing in New Zealand, with the racing. So it gives you a chance to hold them, and race them and do well, and not look at sell them overseas.
Yeah, and get some black type next to their name, get a fast time next to their name, and also probably get some money in the bank so that you can continue the program on.
Breeding scheme that they're giving gives you money, as well as it's going to help with the breeding sides. Because I think that's the big thing about, if they're going to have that many races, that what they're trying to do is keep the mare here rather than get sold overseas, so that it can really, after its racing, can be bred from and try and increase the pool that way. Yeah.
And it is so important. I mean, I've spoken to quite a few places, and unfortunately numbers are down. People are moving mares on. It's great to finally come to someone that's actually increasing. I said Tony Hurley, he's enjoying breeding, but he's only breeding 5, but it's something that he hasn't done for years, but he's actually enjoying it now. But with 30 horses, that's a great influx, and we need it, and it is so important because it is this massive flow-on effect that numbers drop down, the sales get in. There is this big flow-on effect, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we want. We need more racing product to fill these extra dates as well.
Yep.
Probably in the south they seem to have 1,000 horses. Heaps of horses, no troubles. Just as a national thing, the numbers are going down, and this will hopefully give the owner and breeder more incentive.
Steve, thank you. Sensational day. Next I'm going to put you so you got the sun in your eye there on the side, but no, thank you, well done.
Home ground advantage, mate. So
you knew where to stand, didn't you?
Yeah.
Plus you're taller than me, I've got to keep looking up as well. No, thank you, well done for everything you guys are doing. You're always awesome for me, so I really do appreciate it, and outstanding last night. I really encourage people to go and have a look at that interview. It is raw and honest, and she could even she questions her English. She could keep up with me, so she's going okay, because everyone tells me I talk too fast, so she's going okay.
No, you're a perfect interviewer for her, mate. She come to me this morning and she said, I watched that interview.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she said. I said, oh, did you? Yeah. What'd you think? I wasn't too bad.
Self-praise. Well, someone's got to do it, so well done to her. No, and I do mean it, and I think the industry needs to get behind her and so many other people, like Tony Cameron across the road with Tony Hurley. Like these guys, there is so many great stories. I think we can get very negative on ourselves. We don't realise, and even we want to bring people back. You got Joshy back here. Just got to stay positive, and the slogan is "The future starts now." That's right. Pull our socks up and let's enjoy this great sport.
Glass is always half full, isn't it?
Yep. Thanks, mate.
All right, mate.